What would you say are some pros and cons of NILs for college athletes?
I mean, I think the pro, obviously, is these athletes who bring a lot of funding into these programs are getting the benefits and reaping the benefits of that. I think that's the biggest pro. You know, selling my jersey at, you know, in Alabama or any of the other big schools of Georgia and me not seeing a dime of that, that's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Because of how much merchandise is being sold every single game day throughout the week for these major teams. I think the con of that, though, is not all schools are created equal. So you kind of are now in a money race between kids who know if I go to Alabama, I can make this much.
Right.
But if I go to, say, a Jackson State, I can make this much. So it's not so much about what the better program is for you as an athlete anymore. Now it's like, what program can pay me the most cash? And I think that's where recruiting has become a little bit tricky because the big schools can shell out a lot more than the smaller schools. So smaller schools are really struggling when it comes to recruitment now, I feel.
I would always say the root of all evil is money.
Right.
If your desire is money rather than being the best version of yourself, it's always going to end in a dead end. You're at a good situation where you're the man, even though you go to another situation where you're making more money, but you're just a man. It puts you in a dynamic where it's like, where did I have more value at? I have more money in one, but I'm just a guy. A lot of times, it really comes down to how desperate you are.
Right.
I was also that person that was the struggling athlete in college, in real time, but being extremely successful. There is this situation where you have to say, hey, do I want to go to a school, be there for 4 to 5 years, have minimal receptions or a minimal impact, and I get a degree? Or would I want to go to a school, have the opportunity to leave after 3 years, lead the school in receiving yards, lead the school in passing yards, lead the school in tackles or interceptions, but I'm making minimum money. And I have the opportunity to come back to get my degree. That first school was like a UGA, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State. The other school was probably like is Hofstra still available?
Yeah, Hofstra's still school.
Okay, I'm trying
Charleston Hofstra.
Syracuse.
Yeah, no shade to Hofstra.
Right.
Syracuse is a big school, though.
Yeah, but that's not a school that you would first think football.
No,
Right,
for
right.
basketball, yeah.
So I'm speaking on the totality of NCAA NIL evaluations,
Right.
but I'm also trying to give people the understanding it's like, yo, all money isn't not necessarily good money, but the best money.
But don't you think also, though, with the fact that not everyone goes pro, that also changes the mindset of some of these players? Like, if I can
Absolutely.
be in college and make, say, $1 million, let's just use that as a number.
All
I can
things-
be okay.
Then I could be okay. I can
Right.
still change my life with $1 million because there may be a chance I don't get drafted to go to
That's
the
cool.
NFL.